welcome to Concrete Mud Scrap More with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here today with my episode of Quilters Challenge. Now, Quilters Challenge for me talked about florals, right? Like I don't care what you do, but you got to do something floral, right? But first, before we get into what I'm doing for florals, let's get to our shout outs, sorry. And today is Martha Higdon and Yvonne at the Jelly Roll Club. Both of those people are very talented quilters, and you just got to go give them some love and appreciation, and give them a thumbs up. If you really like what you see, hit that subscribe button for them. I would imagine both of them would very much appreciate that. Also, when we're filming this is the beginning of January, so our next sew along is going to be Twinkle Twinkle, and it starts February 25th, 2026, and the Zoom sew dates are the first Saturday of every month from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, because I'm in Alberta, Canada. Making comments, thumbs up, share, like, subscribe. Hype is new. If you could hype the video, that would be great. And hit the bell so you don't miss content. All of that helps our analytics, drive our analytics to reach more quilters and give away more free patterns. So we're just having a great time with this. Also, I have a Facebook group, and it's warm and welcoming. We have all sorts of fun chat and fabric exchanges and pattern exchanges, and it's just, we have so much fun in there. We do virtual sewing rooms under Discord, but the admins have said, please answer the questions, agree to rules before they let you in. Otherwise, they can't let you in. We're trying to keep the group very safe. That's their job, keep it very safe and keep the scammers out. Also, I speak for free to quilting guilds and quilting groups, and I do have a second presentation. Hopefully it'll be done by the end of March, but if you're looking, and I do only over Zoom, so if your group or guild is looking for a speaker, please consider me. And you can either reach me through the Facebook group under Messenger, or you can reach me through the email on my About tab. Also, if you find somebody that's a quilting channel that's working hard and having fun and coming up with some fun ideas, please send them to me so I can give them a shout out here as well. Just don't tell them that you're sending their name, right? Because we're trying to sneak around and do something nice for people. Also, I have 2 challenges coming up. The first one is Back to Basics with Handmade by Ying with Donna, and she's kind of running and organizing that challenge, and I'm so blessed that she thought about me to do that challenge, because we're coming up with some fun lessons for that group. And also the Quilters Challenge, right? And we are just having such a good time in there. We got Sam Alberts, we've got Deb from Sewing with Debbie, Laura Lynn from the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop, we got Michelle from Bits and Pieces, we have Future Cat from New Zealand, and Kelly from Kelly's Quilts and Cruises. So we have 2 things coming up where I'm involved in, and I'm just so pleased to be involved with both of them. It's just wonderful. So yes, so this is my interpretation of florals. Now this was kind of put together like an improv roses, but my friend Olga, and her YouTube channel is going to be in the show. She's from Moscow, and she does such lovely ones, so you got to go check her out. So her link is going to be in the show notes as well. This was inspired by Olga, and we're kind of playing around with the mini. So come on in, we'll have a great time with this Improv Roses on the Floral Challenge for Quilters Challenge. Okay, we're on the Floral Challenge for Quilters Challenge, and it's a foundation paper piece, and you're going, oh my goodness, that's so tiny. It's kind of like doing a mini rose, improv rose, and I thought this would be just so cool to do, and I thought, yeah, we can do this and we can have fun. It'll be grand. I'm just going to clip this because I just enjoy this one very much. Now, what I decided, because I was working with, I'm working with my scraps, and I pulled out all my crumbs that are about the same size. So now that I've cut my thing, I'm going to line up one. I'm just going to line up one wherever it needs to be, and just take a quick read. Yep, it's big enough, it's all good. And I'm just going to, like that, and then fold over for 2. So this now Okay, wait a minute. Let's just check that again. Yes, we're good. So this is the only part of this I'm cutting off. Right? And it's a little big, but it's fine. I'm going to put the next piece of pink. Now I started my roses. When I did my roses, I thought, okay, we'll do a yellow center. Because Alberta roses, wild roses, are you know, yellow centers, and they're pinks. And they're just lovely. And start a little bit further than a 1/4 inch away. And then just go quickly across with your line. Yeah, I just... I saw this, and I wanted to do one for a while, but there's a little OCD child inside me that sits there. No, you have to do it by paper piecing, but that's okay. That's all right. So now I'm just going to push that up, and we're going to go to 3. I'm just going to move my piece just like that. And I'm going to go to 3. Just bend it over. Yeah, I should have marked this one with my stitch ripper, but it's tiny, right? So it's a really tiny little thing that you're doing. So you're going to have lots of little pet bed scraps. And we're going to put this one here. Yeah, that's fine. And for me, if it's a crumb and it's too big, it's fine. Because it's a crumb, right? It's a crumb. It's not going to do anything else in its life. It's just a crumb, right? So, and you hold it for just a bit so it goes up and down in the same spot. And that kind of knots the thread that you're sewing this with. Okay, so we got this and this. Now this is way too big, but that's fine. Now, I'm going to go to 4. And 4, I'm just going to remove the pin altogether. Because we're getting that tiny little piecing now. Okay. 4. It doesn't look like it's going to work, does it? It's so, because everything is so small. But it does. It really does. Okay. Yeah, we had fun, and I created a bigger block out of this, and I was just like, okay, so the challenge is florals. So if they want to make a block or design a block that is a flower, or do a traditional block that's named after a flower, like, you know, a lily or tulip or, you know, Carolina, you know, whatever, whatever they want to do, they can. They can also just use their floral fabrics, and that would meet the challenge too. So I kind of broadened the challenge because I figured, okay, this is going to be a fun little challenge, and we're just going to have everybody play with their stuff. Okay, now 5, I switched it up all of a sudden to reds. I decided, let's do some reds in here and just have some fun. And there. Yeah. Yeah, we're good. All right, so just lay that across that line. When you're doing improv roses, because this, if you wanted to do them in a larger scale, you can. Or you can do anything you want, actually. You use the challenge, you'd meet the challenge if you use floral fabric. So, I mean, that works. A lot of times when I get donations, what I'm getting a lot of is florals. People get them in their stash and they either don't know how to use them or whatever. Now, this doesn't look perfect, but that's fine. We're probably going to clip it off. So we'll just fold it out of the way. Just fold it out of the way. Move along to number 6. There. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Okay, number 6 is here. Yeah, we had fun finding all these little pieces of stuff to pull out, too. That was a good exercise for me, just to go digging through the reds. Just to see how many I got, because that bin is getting really full. It's getting really full of reds. But that's okay. I like red. I have a hard time wearing red, but I still like it. It's still a pretty color. Now you see the pinks in here are really tiny by the time you get them done, but that's okay. That's okay. That's just going to be fun. Fine. Okay. Now where was that piece that we sewed the funny? That's right here. Yeah. And we're going to cut it all off. There we go. There. Here. That piece doesn't need to be that big, but that piece has been in my red crumb bin for a while. This is actually my favorite way of using up crumbs, is doing tiny foundation paper piecing. And I know that's not everybody's jam, but it's mine. What can I say? Okay. There. Okay, and flip it over there. Now, okay, we did 7. Was that 7? I guess. I don't know. I lost track already. These never look like anything until you cut them. Or until you trim them up, by the way, too. They look weird. They look very strange. Little creation that you're making here, but that's okay. All right, here we go. 8 goes right here. And we can use black and whites if we want. That's all good. We just make, I just picked, you know, low volumes that were scrappy. I figured that would work just as well as anything else. There. And if it's a bit big, it's a bit big. It's fine. Okay. 8, 9. There we go. And you always want to add some color that's, you know, not white, right? Just like a bone or a cream or whatever to your work when you're doing a scrappy piece. Because if all of a sudden you have to start putting that low volume color in, it's going to stand out like a sore thumb if that's the only piece. But if you add a bit of everything into it, like every time you do one, then it doesn't look weird. You know, that's just a little bit of advice there for those of us that like scrappy. Scrappy happiness. Okay. And I'm going to take that off because it's just huge. And that can go back and, oh, that can go pet bed. That's fine. Okay, from 9 to 10. Let's get 10 done. Now this is when you start to round the rows. This is where the rose starts to form, is when you're doing these pieces. I am missing a piece. Oh dear. Wait a minute. Oh. There we go. I'm missing a piece. I did not pick up enough pieces. Oh, that's not good. Oh well. There we go. There. Well, that's weird. Oh dear. Okay, well, we'll see what I can do with this. Okay. Oh, 11 is big. 11 is big. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do 12, and then I'm just going to find a quick triangle for 11, and I'm going to sew that one on. I might have to pause. I didn't lay out enough triangle pieces. Oh no. Oh well. That's okay. I'll just put 12 on here. with the flamingos, because flamingos are fun. You can do flamingos. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now I have to find an 11. Okay, all right. An 11 takes up a pretty big space, so I'm going to have to cut here, find a piece that's low volume that's going to be large enough for 11, and come back. And so 11 on, do our stay stitching. Unless I have it here. Do I have it here? That is not going to be big enough. No. Okay, I'm just going to have to pause here and grab another triangle or whatever to finish this off, and I'll be right back. Okay, I found another piece. Oh well, you know, that happens. That happens a lot. You gotta go looking for more pieces. I found a really cute white on white, which I think will do the trick just lovely, and it's probably a little bit big for what we need, but it'll work. When you're working with your crumb bins, does it work? That's the question you're asking yourself. You know, does it work? Yes, it does. Then sew it in. Right? Crumbs are on the very last legs before they go to the pet bed, and that's why it's important to, you know, to have them around. And if they're oversized, they're oversized. At least you're using some of the material, right? Okay, so now we can do this a couple ways. We will sew it now, just real quick like a bunny, in the seam allowance. And you want to sew in the seam allowance. So you want to sewing in those two darker lines on the outside. That's your seam allowance. And that's your stay stitching. There. Like I say, depending on what kind of size you're making, you might want to save your stay stitching for last. But, you know, what I did with my block, and I'll show you at the end of this, is I did all my piecing, and then I did my stay stitching, right? I did, you know, I pieced it into a block, these all into cute little blocks, and that's when I did it. So now we've got this thing all lovely and flat, and it never looks like anything. I find they always look beat up. Beat up and kind of raggy looking until you start trimming, and then they just turn like a princess into something wonderful. Okay. There we go. Now what I do is I put my 1/4 inch mark on the line, the inside line, and now I'm measuring the 3.5, and I want the 3.5 to be here and here, the lines there and there. So I make a good square, right? Because sometimes that helps in minis, especially if you've drawn the lines a little too thick, you don't really know where you're going. So again, you look for that, and then there. Just like so. Now, that is done, right? So let's get to our ta-da moment. And you see the pink is just itty bitty tiny little pieces, but when you're doing a small scale mini, you need that definition. So let's get to our ta-da moment. I'll show you the block I made. Okay, here is my block of Quilters Challenge that we did with Florals. Like I say, we had so much fun doing these little improv, they look like improv roses, but they're not. They're foundation paper pieced, and they all look a little different, and the reason they look different is you just twist them 90 degrees, right? And like I say, you have 4 different ones, so you can play around with this quite a bit and just make them all look just adorable. Now I decided to put a lot of white space in between, so I picked a nice light bone colored linen to put into my block and make it just give a more restful look to the block. So anyways, we did have some fun with this. And just think, this block was started from this. So I hope everything in your life is going absolutely great and your 1/4 inch is absolutely perfect, because this one was a lot of fun to come up with and share with you. And I do hope you give the Quilter Challenge here a try, because we have some very talented people coming up on this roster. Okay, you guys stay well and take care until I see you again. All right, bye. My husband and I would like to thank you for all of your support and watching our videos and sharing and liking. It has just been, you've put us on such an amazing journey, and we are having so much fun. I hope everything is going so well in your life, and you know, your 1/4 inch is perfect. Everything is working out for you. And we're just so happy to be part of your lives, and you having, like I say, you're watching us. I was just so thrilled that you're doing that. So I want to say goodbye, and I want to thank you with all my heart. Okay? Take care. Bye.